And joining us now from Toronto is Ari Sitnik. Welcome to the CJN Daily.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you.
Well, it's great to meet you. Congratulations on being the rabbi in Drake's new video. It's amazing. How has the reaction been so far?
So far, my social media has exploded with reactions. They have all been positive, mostly hilarious. And I'm still in shock by the whole repercussion. I'm happy I did it, because we can get to it later and talk about how the whole thing came out and what the outcome has been. But it's been something completely new and different for me.
You've never been an actor before.
Well, I have been in other video productions. I have been in some that were made for TV, but they were all background roles. Somebody sitting, a Jew crossing the street, a Jew in the crowd, a Jew in the synagogue, nothing major. There was another role that I did for a community-related organization, and that one was actually an active role. It was for fun. I did it for the, just for the enjoyment.
Tell me about that one.
Okay, there's a Toronto organization called Tomchei Shabbos. In English, it would be the Supporters of Shabbos. It's a community organization that provides food and nourishment supplies for families, not just for Shabbos, not just for the Sabbath, but also for the entire week. They receive donations from all over, and they do the drop-off anonymously at houses. My sons have taken part in the preparation. They have a warehouse, a kitchen. They have a warehouse in Toronto. Young boys and young women at different times will go there, pack the food, prepare the food, pack up the back of a van, and run around and distribute to the houses. It's a ding-dong ditch kind of thing. You put the box, you ring the bell, and disappear, so they don't know who's bringing, and you don't know who we are addressing. They had a fundraiser several years ago, and they needed somebody to play the rabbi on a very odd wrestling-related story that they concocted somehow, with a wrestler who is Jewish, who gets, I don't even remember the whole story. It was so complicated, but it was a ton of fun. I basically appeared on video. I played the rabbi. At one point, the wrestlers jumped on top of me. We cracked the table. I had to carry somebody to help him kiss the rear end of a camel. It was a ton of fun. You can actually Google it on YouTube and check on YouTube, Slammin' for Shabbos. There are several videos, and it's over the top, but that's the whole point. It was for fun. It was for the community. It was to call attention to the organization, and the organization did benefit a lot from the events.
Was it a talkie or a walkie, as they say in shul?
Well, I did a little bit of a talkie. There were parts in the story where I did have to talk, but most of it was a walkie. It was just appearing on camera and looking the part.
Right. I mean, usually, we'll talk about the Drake store video in a second, but we need to know, you're not an actor. You have a day job, right? Where
No,
you
I don't.
Right. What's your day job?
I do IT support. I work from home. I do remote support. I work for a company abroad, and I just log into the remote systems and I support the customers all over the world, wherever they are. I've done computers in the Philippines, in Israel, in South America, in Central America, mostly in the States. So I'm just a regular 9-to-5 guy. Nothing.
All right. So you went to rabbi, you became a rabbi, you have your rabbinical smicha, I assume.
Yes, I do.
But you're not born in Canada. I know you speak several languages. How did you get to Toronto?
I was born in Brazil. I went to yeshiva in the United States. And when I was in yeshiva in New York, in Brooklyn, my final leg of the yeshiva career, my chavruta, my study partner, got engaged, and his fiancée was my wife's former roommate when they attended school in Israel. So the whole story in a nutshell was, I know this one who's single, I know this one who's single. How is this person? How is that person? Let's see if we can introduce them to each other. And he told me, get yourself on a bus to Toronto and go meet your wife. And the rest is history.
How many years have you been here?
26 years in Toronto.
So you have a couple of kids. They're here as well?
Yes, I have 4 children. The oldest is married. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter. And the others are at home. 1 is in university and 2 in high school.
Here in Toronto. And
yes.
So you're affiliated with Chabad or with another,
Well, officially I'm with Chabad. I just don't attend too many events because of my time constraints and geographical location. I am affiliated currently in terms, if you want to know which synagogue I attend on a regular basis,
sure.
It would be Clanton Park Synagogue.
Right. All right. So you're doing your day job. You have a little bit of acting on the internet. You said you were, busy, very busy. How did this connection happen that you ended up being cast as a rabbi? You got to start from the beginning. I'm here listening.
Okay. It's not such a long story, actually. The producer of that community video, Gian McGinn from the Megan Boys, he has a contact in the media, several contacts in the media industry. One of them is Stu Stone, who contacted Gian. They're looking for a rabbi. Do you know anyone? And Gian mentioned my name. So Stu already knew me we already had met, I believe, in one of those video productions. And he said, Ari would be perfect for it. So he just gave my name to the producing company. And the 2 people, Adam Rodness and the director X, they approved me. And the rest is history, as they say. Again.
Okay, no, but so from the rest of this history is a whole story. So we need to know. So they call you. You didn't have to audition, right? Did you have to send a tape?
No tape. I actually just sent a picture. They wanted somebody who would look like a rabbi. I guess whoever else they had wouldn't wouldn't be legit looking, or somebody else might have been afraid. And I'm not so afraid. I thought this is a gig. This is work. I'm not doing anything I'm not officially a rabbi. I'm not going to do anything in an official function. So why not? So I scheduled the Sunday. I hope my boss is not listening. I scheduled a Sunday off. I usually work on Sundays. But since it was the Memorial Day weekend in the States, things were more quiet. I was able to take the Sunday off, and off I went to the hotel downtown where they were moving, the Royal York, where they were filming it. And I spent most of the day there in the production. They called me.
You mean this Memorial Day, like 2 weeks ago or a year ago?
Yes, just a few weeks ago.
Wow, that looks crazy fast.
Yes, it was incredible. I think they did the production of the whole video in less than a week.
Okay, so you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you already know what your role was? Like, did they send you a script and everything so you knew what to do, or how did that work?
There was no real script. I knew that I would be playing the rabbi, but I didn't know what I was going to say, if I was going to say, how it was going to appear, or anything like that. We got on set, and there were 2 stand-ins, one for Drake and one for the first bride that appears. And the director tells me, could you say a line or something that would say, do you take him or her to be your husband, wife, and now I declared you husband and wife? Well, we don't really have that in a Jewish wedding, which made it, in a sense, easier for me, because I thought there would be, if anybody would come with a negative reaction, there was no chuppah. It was just a floral arrangement on a frame. If anybody wanted to say that this is, they're trying to make fun of a chuppah, this is not a chuppah. There was nothing Jewish about it. This was just, you know, do you commit yourself to being a good husband? Do you commit yourself to being a good wife? And I'll declare you married, and that's it. So,
Did you have any input into the wording? Like you told them what you want to say and they were okay with it? Because you know, you have to be careful of your own image, right?
right, we worked it out on the spot. It was done within minutes. We came up with this line exactly on the spot. There was
Okay.
no previous interaction. One of my previous experiences with the media was with that famous or infamous show Nurses, if you recall, that had one episode pulled off the air because of a possible anti-Semitic image to the show. It was a
I think I
show.
heard something about that, but I don't remember exactly.
It's
Yeah.
been several. It's been at least 3
On
years.
global, maybe it was global
Global,
TV
yes,
or
I think it
something. I
was on
think so.
Global.
Yeah, I heard
Yes, yes,
something about it. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. Where somebody needs a bone graft and they won't take it because of whatever stupid reasons the producers concocted. I was just appearing at the very last scene, at the last end of the closing scene of the show, and I had no idea of what the actors were saying. So, and you
Oh,
know,
so
when
you
they,
were in that episode that was pulled off the air. So this isn't your
yes, I
first
was. I was right at the
controversy.
end, at the very
Mhm.
end of the episode, and you're
And
not told what else happens in the show.
but it makes it a bit uncomfortable for you afterwards when it starts to blow up, right?
Right. It made it uncomfortable. I didn't quite feel guilty. I just wanted to that somebody should have a chance to reply and to refute the false accusations that were coming from that idea with the that was being portrayed on the show.
And you never got that chance to speak.
Well, if I think B'nai B'rith, the community, whoever else that has more influence and power than I had, eventually got to it and took care of the issue. But
Mhm.
here we didn't have any of it.
Okay, so you said you were there with stand-ins to do the filming. So you weren't there so you never met Drake, or you
I
did?
did meet Drake. I did meet Drake. Drake was in and out of the set very quickly, only for when he was needed, and not much longer. I guess it's part of the status of celebrity or whatever else that was happening. They would have a stand-in for the cameras to practice focus and sound to get ideas and for you to practice your lines. And when the real time comes, the real stars come in and they speak and we speak and the scenes are taken and then everybody disappears.
Okay, so you did like a rehearsal bit, and then when it was the real thing, you actually did it in front of Drake and the first woman and all
Yes,
those
I did. Yes,
brides.
yes.
Did you have any chance to speak to him, not as part of the lines, but like outside of it, or talk to him at
No,
all?
unfortunately not. I wish I could. I wish
What
I
would you have
could.
said? What would you have said?
You really want to know? I had
I
my
really
tefillin
want to
with
know.
me, and I would have asked him to put on tefillin because we know that he's Jewish according to halacha, and I would have been privileged to help him do this mitzvah if we had the chance. But the fact that he just ran in and out was a little bit of a barrier.
Did you get to meet his mom,
I
Sandy?
saw her, didn't have a chance to talk to her.
Okay,
She
you mentioned a
wasn't.
bit about earlier. You mentioned there was no chuppah, there was no breaking glass. I
No,
don't think, right? And
that's
there was no
correct.
shiva brachas. There was no nothing about
Nothing,
bedeket,
nothing.
none of that stuff.
No.
Did you try? Did you ask them to do, or you maybe said, I don't want the Jewish part because of other
No.
hesitation?
The moment I saw that there was no chuppah, I already had an idea that there wouldn't be too much in Jewish terms. The fact that they didn't have a line rehearsed and they didn't ask anything, and I wasn't even present for the ring scene when he
Oh, you
puts
weren't
on the
there.
rings. Those things were filmed in multiple shots from different angles at different times. And if you are not part of the scene, you don't necessarily appear on it. The video looks smooth when you watch it, but it's a compilation of many small shots.
Right, right. So wait, so when was the first time you actually saw the whole thing together? Was it when it dropped, or you got like a rehearsal view before or a preview?
No, this morning when it came out.
So how do you think you appear? How did you come out? What's your reaction to how you look?
Frankly, I think I could have had my tie a little straighter and could have looked a little better, but it wasn't bad. I don't think I looked that horrible.
So you said your social media has been blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Any criticisms?
None. People have contacted me. I am from here. I want to talk to you. I'm from there. I want to talk to you. It was hilarious. Is this really you? And no negative reaction whatsoever. People actually have mentioned that this is a very nice way to put Jews in a positive light in social media, especially Orthodox Jews, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy it's been seen that way.
Tell me more about that. What does that look like to you, how you do that in this way?
Well, it's let's face it. There were just 3 lines. It was a basically stand there and look pretty kind of thing. I'm not calling myself pretty by any stretch of imagination, but there wasn't anything that we had to do that was bad. There wasn't anything that portrayed Judaism in a negative light. There was no mention of anything. And as somebody said, the fact that he chose somebody looking like a rabbi instead of a pastor, a minister, a priest, makes it positive. It just put it in a positive way. It just made it look a little nicer than what we are usually seeing in the media. For example, that show Nurses that I mentioned to you.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not an expert on hip hop. So I had to ask my son, who's an expert about all this stuff. Do you follow, you knew who Drake was, of course, before, right?
Yes, I've known about him. My wife has known about Drake from the Degrassi days. I'm not from Toronto, so I didn't know that. But eventually I found out that the little boy from Degrassi ended up being a hip hop artist, but that's about all I know about him.
So you don't listen to his music normally?
I'm not a fan of hip hop. Nothing wrong with it, just not my cup of tea.
Right. So now you've seen it. Did you hear some of the lyrics? How does that go down?
I did not listen to the lyrics.
How did you watch it? With the sound off?
I watched it. I started watching it with the sound on, but I turned the sound off because I wasn't paying attention to it. And then I doubled the speed of the video just to see what else would appear. And the moment that I saw that my part was just in the first minute and a half, that's it. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to pay attention. I know that the lyrics may be controversial, but I have no association with the lyrics. And my part was there just to do the little part and frankly earn a paycheck. Right.
Are you allowed to talk? Are you under an NDA, non-disclosure? How does that work with this? Like,
there is an NDA. So I couldn't say anything about the video until it came out.
But you literally was in with 2 weeks. So that's so crazy. Were you surprised that it was coming out today? Or we're talking on Friday? Did you know it was going to be so quickly released? They told you this?
I was told that it would have been released even earlier, even sooner than that. Something, I don't know what technical details happened. From what I understand, the video is related to an album. And there must have been something that delayed it for a week and a half or 2 weeks. And now it's out and it's out there.
I saw it got like 1.5 million views already in like less than 24 hours. So that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Are you getting job offers now? Because this is going to be kickstarting your career big time. You know that, right?
No job offers yet. Nothing related to that. I don't know what's coming up. Life is full of surprises, and let's see what opportunities can come out of this.
some people might say, you know, when he did the bar mitzvah video 2012, he did a re-bar mitzvah video in a shul. I don't know if you're aware of that. And that was sort of the first time where he was, you know, showing off his Jewishness, but it was full of swear words. And then the synagogue decided to like disassociate themselves. But they did say, we hope that this brings more young Jewish people in touch with their Judaism, right? That was their message. They thought it was okay for that reason. And so I guess, you know, there might be criticism, that he married 23 women in front of a rabbi. Do you know what I mean? How are you going to answer those questions to your community?
Well, I'll answer. One, it was there. I was aware that he would marry multiple women. And at the same time, this is a story. This is a video. This is a tale. This is not real. We know that this is all fake, and it's made for the song. It's not made for anybody to take a real a role out of it. I know that wouldn't be correct, even according to Jewish tradition, according to those who allow polygamy. It wouldn't be done that way. Absolutely not. And I have to say that there was no mention of anything in terms of Torah. There was no mention of anything in terms of, let me just, give me just 1 second. I want to look at one response that I typed to somebody. Where did I put it? And now I have to find, sorry, there was somebody who contacted me, and here it is. Oh goodness. Here, that's the I just yeah. If you're opposed to it, tell me why. If you think the video is inappropriate, why did you watch it? If you didn't watch it, you're repeating secondhand information. I can tell you what happened there. The whole thing is just a tale, just a make-believe thing, and there was no seriousness. I wasn't present when he put the ring, as I mentioned before.
Would that be an issue? I don't know why, but maybe explain it to me. For you,
had one of the women been Jewish, and I don't think any of the brides were, from what I understood, there might have been an issue. Even in the context of a play, of a theatrical play, there was a story, I believe, decades ago, where a school play involved a fake wedding scene, and the boy actually told the girl the line, "Arei mekodeshet li," you're betrothed to me. And the story got to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, alav shalom, and he actually mentioned that even in this situation that was not a real wedding, it was just for the play, he would have to give the girl a get, and they were high school students. So there is a high level of seriousness. I wasn't there for it.
So that's a good thing you weren't there, and nobody there.
It's a good thing I wasn't there.
Did you talk to any of the other people that were involved besides, like you said, you talked to Drake for a second, but you didn't actually have time to exchange anything? But anybody else that you got to speak to while you're hanging around?
Yeah, well, spoke with a few of the wardrobe people, a few of the sound people, a few of the camera people. There was one fellow there, Joe, who showed me how the remote focus system works. It's fascinating. You put a little piece of equipment under your shirt, a little sensor, and the sensor tells the camera how far you are from it. He's sitting. It's fascinating. The level of technology in there, the amount of Wi-Fi technology that's being used in the set to communicate between different pieces is fascinating. The microphone.
And did you get a wardrobe too? Or did you wear your own clothes? You mentioned wardrobe.
I wore my own clothes. The only thing
no makeup, nothing, right?
No makeup, no makeup. They gave
me a tie. Did they do your hair?
Nope, they gave me a tie. Well, they actually moved my beard a little from sticking down to being a little rounder. The rest was my clothes. They gave me a tie, and they didn't like my shoes, but the The main part of it were my own clothes.
Why didn't they like your shoes?
I have one pair of Reeboks, and that's it. I'm not.
You had to change into their fancier shoes.
Yes. No
Did you
big
get to
deal.
keep the tie and the shoes?
No.
Darn it.
I wouldn't feel
And you
right.
didn't get any souvenirs at all? A signed picture from Drake, an album, nothing?
No, nothing.
You got paid though.
I will get paid when they send the check. Yes, I know.
Oh, it's still in the
It's
mail.
been taken care of. It's still, yeah. Eventually.
Is this the
it will
biggest
come and there's no
paycheck
problem.
you ever got from acting?
Pardon?
Is this the biggest paycheck you've ever got for acting?
Possibly not, just because of the amount of hours involved.
Oh, but are you like an actor? Are you a member of ACTRA or something? Like
No,
the
no,
union?
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
But way back in the past, the first production I did earned me more. There was a movie made for TV called Crown Heights with Howie Mandel. That one I was involved in the production in a larger amount of hours, so that one earned me more money. So unless there is residual income from monetizing on YouTube or other mentions, my paycheck will be nice, but it won't be the largest I ever got.
You're not quitting your job.
I'm not quitting my job because of it. No.
And what does your kids think about this?
Well, they're excited. They thought it was crazy. They thought I was absolutely insane for doing it. And they don't know whether they should promote it or they should be quiet. So I said, let it roll. You know, you don't need to be involved in disseminating. Things will come out by themselves. People will hear about it and will go viral, and whatever happens, happens.
So you've been acting not just in the global TV show. We talked about nurses, but you had Howie Mandel. So this is how many years back did you start? What was your first sort of, you said a few small things, but when was the first time? Do you remember?
That one was 2003, was the one with Howie Mandel. But then again, it's just one guy on the street, crossing the street, looking Jewish in the scenes. It's not acting, it's background role.
So you were like an extra.
An extra, that's all I've been doing. This was the first one where I had a speaking line.
Do you have an agent now?
Not yet. Not yet. I have somebody who could act as my agent, but it's nothing official. I don't know if I will follow this rule of acting. I'm not quitting my day job yet.
How old are you, Ari?
I'm turning 53 soon.
Aha, midlife crisis. Awesome. That's amazing. You look well. Baruch Hashem, that looks amazing.
Thank you.
So now it's out. Now what do you do? Are you going to go to shul tomorrow and try to face the music and see what everybody says, or are you going to hide?
Yes, absolutely. I'll show up in shul with my regular talis bag and a pack of chewing gum as I give to the kids every Shabbos. And life continues. Life goes on. This was a job. I got paid. And that's it.
It's incredible. I can't tell you how excited I am for you. And I
Thank
wish
you.
you only big success from now on.